guys. So, oh my goodness, I have so much to talk about. I have so much to talk about everything, and I posted my little light, like tidbits of my life video or whatever from yesterday, and I posted it today, and I was sitting down this morning and I was reading the comments and I'm like, ooh, like super negative. People saying that they're sad, that I shouldn't be getting rid of my things, putting a time limit on like how long, my hands are super dry, about a time limit on like how long my boyfriend and I are gonna last. Just like kind of very negative things. And I get it. I mean, I get it. Like, I understand where you're coming from. You guys only see a portion of my life, and you know, the bits and pieces I told you, and I think I've painted like a pretty incorrect picture, but you know, I don't know, I kind of wanted to talk a little bit more about it. So this video, I've got so many videos that I want to like say. I feel like I have like a whole entire new chapter of my life to talk about, which I do, but this one specifically is going to be kind of about getting rid of so much of my stuff. And before I say anything else, he is getting rid of basically half of his stuff too. We are deciding what to keep and what to get rid of based off of what's nicer, or off of things like, for example, my table. I had a nicer table, but I wanted to see it go. My table reminds me a lot of my ex-husband, and that's hard. That's hard to eat dinner out every day. You know what I mean? And it's not something that I wanted to bring into a new relationship. That table, despite my efforts to change it, which was when I painted all that blue on the top of it, put that blue crackle on there, that was to cover up not only like some damage that the kids had caused, but when my ex-husband was really like crazy on the meth, he was spending all of his time at that table working on remote control helicopters all the time that he was home. So all through the night, when he came home to see us at lunch, he would just sit there and mess with it. And he used all sorts of strange chemicals, and there were burn marks on the table, and there were glue marks that didn't come off, and just things like that. And I completely destroyed the surface of the table, and that reminds me of him. And even the paint that I put on top of it, trying to like cover up and mask that part of my life with that specific piece of furniture, just kind of reminds me of like trying to put a band-aid on something, even though I want to say owie just because I'm a mom, is still there. You know what I mean? So seeing that go was like, all of this stuff that reminds me of him and our marriage, or when I first split with him and it was like a struggle, and you know, I got a hand-me-down couch, and just all these things that kind of just feel like, I kind of feel like it's like just stuck in that time of my life. So to see these things go feels so good. And I'm telling you, to watch my table drive down the street, I felt like it just like took like weight with it, like, you know what I mean? And the shell of like the new me is like being revealed, if that makes any sense at all. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I started, before I even decided to officially move in with my boyfriend, I started to get rid of things. And it's kind of like half spring cleaning, half like purging, reorganize, not half, this is like however many pieces I'm going to mention, so like a fifth, you know, like reorganizing and just purging things that I don't need, and simplifying my life, and getting rid of bad memories and things like that. So now there are a couple things, or things that I just don't need, like those purses. I stopped using purses because I'm sick of them, or they start, you know, wearing in ways that I don't want them to wear, or whatever it may be, but I never go back to them. So do I really need 5 purses cluttering my closet? No, I don't. So to get rid of those, it feels really, really good, because it clears up space for something that I will use, or it allows me to have things a little bit more spread out. So instead of like jamming everything together, to have things like nicely put, like something here and then something here. So there's nothing overlapping, and there's no chaos, and it stays nicer. And there's so much to be said for that. I feel like less is so much more. I would rather have fewer things and have them nice than have a whole bunch of stuff and just have it like all stuffed into a spot. So to be able to clear some of that stuff out and realizing that is huge for me. It's so huge for me. So doing that has been feeling great. There are some things like my dishes, and not many things. I've not gotten rid of very many things, like necessity wise, because, you know, just a dad, like I'm moving in with just a dad who doesn't have a kitchen full of all sorts of the crap that I have. So I'm keeping like most all of my personal necessities, and he's able to keep a lot of his, and just kind of merging that way. My couch was falling apart. If you guys saw it, it was like literally like stuffing and stuff was falling out of it on a daily basis. Like, it was a wreck. That was just in time. I had to get a new one anyways. So that one was, I mean, my parents got rid of it because it was falling apart, and I've had it now for 2.5 years. So it's done. So, what are the other big things? He got rid of, any extra beds or anything like that, or beds that weren't so nice, and I was able to replace them with all of mine. What else is there? I got rid of a lot of the kids' toys, but I got rid of stuff that they don't play with anymore, and donated it to places that, you know, need kid toys and stuff like that. Clothes, I did send a big bag to like thread up, but again, it's just because I don't wear that stuff anymore. It needs to go anyways. And then I donated more than you could ever imagine. I'm trying to think of like all the stuff that I've gotten rid of. I did sell my washer and dryer for $50. And here's why. And I told the lady, and I even posted it when I sold it. I said, they're on their way out. I bought them both secondhand, actually third hand on the washer, and like they are on their way out, and I bought them both for under $100 each. So it was kind of just like one of those things where it's like, I can find another used set if I really need to for $100 when the time comes. But somebody was really, really happy to get those. So just like little things, or it's, I don't have anything nice. I mean, the nicest thing I have is my camera and my computer and my bed, I guess. Those are really the only nice things I own. I'm trying to think, like my KitchenAid and my blender. Those are like the only things that I have that are like worth it. I just don't have like anything worth any value. Like my TV, I couldn't even read it. It was like, you know what I mean? Like it was, my vision's not that great, come to find out, but it was like, so, you know, it's small, and we have a TV here, and he has an extra TV up there, and just, I don't have a TV in my room, and I don't know. It's just crazy. It's crazy when you actually think about things. So what I'm trying to say is that these are all things that I was happy to let go of, you know? And the things like, and the things like the dishes, where if we do move out or we do split up, I have a financial backup plan, and I'm going to do a separate video about that. I asked him, I'm like, can I share that? Because it's pretty personal between us, but I feel like for other women out there in my shoes, and just to kind of know, like, hey, this is what we did. This is my backup plan. This is kind of like my security blanket. This was a big fear of mine, is splitting up and being left high and dry again, you know, that type of thing. So to be able to have the backup plan that we've created is pretty freaking amazing. And, you know, I hope that it never has to be used as a backup plan, but it can be used for, you know, the alternative plan that we have for it. And like I said, I'll explain that all in another video. I'll post it this weekend. But yeah, you know, like there's a lot. There's a lot to be said. There's a lot to be said for him. And you know, the love we share. And as corny as that is, it's amazing. I don't feel like I've ever been loved the way that he loves me. So that's enough of the sappy business. And yeah, that's kind of where I'm at as far as getting rid of stuff. Like I said, he's gotten rid of tons of stuff too. We've donated truckloads of his stuff, and I'm kind of like, wow, it's really snowing out there. The snowflakes are like this big. It's just white blanket. You know, he's getting rid of stuff too, and he's kind of like I've decided he's like a technology pack rat. And it's a horrible thing to say, but he's like, he finds like this old like DVR, it's like this big, and he's like, here's my DVR. I'm like, what are you gonna do with that? He's like, well, I don't know, what if like one day I am laid up for 5 months and I can't move around, and I want to watch these old games, and they're on the DVR, and it gives me something to do. I'm like, really? I'm like, there's YouTube. I'm like, you can watch them on YouTube, or Netflix, or you know what I mean? You're like a technology pack rat. It's hilarious. Just all this random old technology. It's like a walk down the 90s and 90s, 2000. I guess it's all early 2000. No, it's not even in the 90s. Filled up my memory card, but it wasn't until I was in maybe my senior high school. No, maybe my junior. I don't know. Texting came out in like what, 2002? It's about that-ish, I think. No, before that. I don't know. Anyways, it's just crazy. It's crazy how far into the 2000s we are. So, okay, that's it. Hopefully that kind of feels good. Feels good to kind of talk about all that stuff and talk about why it's so nice to get rid of some of these things, and yeah, you know, I won't have as much stuff when I move out, but I don't want as much stuff if I move out, ever, which hopefully I never do. What you doing? But you know what I mean. So that's it. I'll talk to you guys later.